What is going on, guys? This is DropThisBox, and I hope all of you guys out there are having a fantastic day today. And today I'm going to be talking about Pokemon Black 2 and White 2 because these are probably some of my favorite games in the Pokemon franchise, and I definitely want to make this video today just giving my thoughts on the game as a whole because there's just so many things to discuss when it comes to what these games really did for the Pokemon franchise. And I can't really blame people when they come out and say, yeah, this is my favorite Pokemon game, because when it comes to the story, when it comes to how expanded Unova was, and also you gotta think about the difficulty and how the challenge was just right for a lot of people. There's just a lot of different things to discuss within this video. So we're going to dive right into this because I am super excited to give my thoughts on these games. So when Pokemon Black 2 and White 2 were announced, I was surprised that we were getting direct sequels instead of the usual third version that we're used to seeing back then. It was a bold move for the series, but it ended up being one of the best decisions Game Freak could have made. Instead of just a rehash of minor tweaks, these games gave us a fresh continuation of Unova's story set 2 years after the events of Black and White. This made the world feel alive, like time had actually passed, and that's something Pokemon games rarely do. Seeing how Unova changed over those 2 years made it feel more like a real place than ever before. Cities had expanded, gym leaders had moved on or been replaced, and Team Plasma had split into two opposing factions. It was fascinating to see how characters had grown, especially with Chiron now being a gym leader and Bianca working as Professor Juniper's assistant. These little details made the world feel like it was constantly evolving. One of the best parts of this approach was how it made returning players feel like their past journey truly mattered. Unlike other Pokemon games that reset the world between generations, Black 2 and White 2 made a point to acknowledge what had come before. Even the new protagonists felt like they were stepping into the legacy left behind Hilbert or Hilda, which was a really cool way to make the sequel feel connected. I loved how these games didn't give us a new adventure, but expanded on what made Unova great in the first place. The storytelling was a big step up for Pokemon, and it showed how much potential there was for sequels to build on previous games instead of just rebooting the experience. One of the biggest surprises in Black 2 and White 2 was how much Unova had changed since the first games. Right from the start, you could tell this wasn't just a simple retread of the same locations. Instead of beginning in Nuvema Town, the journey started in Aspertia City, a brand new area that had never been seen before. It was the first time a Pokemon game had started in a proper city instead of a tiny town, which made for a really fresh change of pace. The region itself was expanded with new routes, towns, and hidden areas, making it feel even larger than before. Places like Verbank City and Himbalao City added more personality to Unova, while previously empty locations have been repurposed to fit the new story. Even existing areas had been changed to reflect the passage of time, like the construction in Britville City or the reopened cold storage. These small details really made Unova feel alive. I also loved how these games mixed in older Pokemon from past generations right from the start. In the original Black and White, you were locked into using only new Pokemon until post-game, but Black 2 and White 2 let you catch familiar faces early on, and this made team building way more fun since you had so many options right away. Being able to catch Pokemon like Growlithe, Mareep, or Riolu before even reaching the first gym gave so much variety. The way Unova was updated really made these games feel fresh, even for players who had already explored the region before. There was always something new to discover, and it made the experience feel like a true evolution rather than just another Pokemon adventure. And if there's one thing Pokemon fans always debated about, it was how difficult the game should be. Some are too easy, others can be frustrating, but Black and 2 struck that incredible balance. Right from the start, the first gym battle against Sharon was tougher than usual, forcing players to think more about strategy rather than just steamrolling through. The level curve and trainer AI were well-tuned, making battles more engaging. What made the challenge even better was the inclusion of challenge mode and easy mode. A first for the series, challenge mode increased enemy levels and gave trainers smarter movesets, making gym leaders much tougher. It was a shame you had to unlock it instead of having it available from the start, but for those who wanted a real test, it was fantastic. and the gym leaders themselves were well designed and had teams that actually felt threatening. Elsa, for example, had a really tricky team that could throw off unprepared players, and Drayden's dragons were no joke. Even the Elite Four felt more polished, with each member having a solid strategy instead of feeling like a stepping stone to the champion. Then of course there was the final battle against Iris. Having her as a champion was such a cool twist, and her team was incredibly strong. She felt like a true final test for the journey. The balance of difficulty in these games made every battle feel meaningful without ever feeling unfair. And one of the absolute best features in Black 2 and White 2 was the Pokemon World Tournament. This was hands down one of the best additions ever made to a Pokemon game. Instead of just having the usual battle tower or battle subway, the game brought back gym leaders and champions from every past region, letting you battle legends like Blue, Lance, Cynthia, and Steven in an incredible tournament setting. What made this mode so special was that it truly felt like a celebration of Pokemon's history. Seeing all these familiar faces return was amazing, and the fact they were given competitive level teams made the battles even more fun. It wasn't just nostalgia for nostalgia's sake, these were some of the best battles in the game. The different tournament formats added a lot of replayability too. You had single battles, double battles, rotation battles, and more, making sure that each playthrough felt a little different. Plus, the randomized natures of opponents meant you never knew exactly who'd you face, which kept things exciting. Honestly, I wish this feature would come back in future Pokemon games because it was such a perfect way to bring past characters into the fold without feeling forced. The Pokemon World Tournament was a fantastic addition that made Black 2 and White 2 feel like a true love letter to the series. So it was fun to talk about Pokemon Black 2 and White 2 throughout this video because this game is really loved by the community because of all of the different things that was put into it. Of course, the things that I discussed throughout this video, but plus many other things too. But Black 2 and White 2, like if I had to just put it out there, it was probably one of my favorite experiences when it comes to terms of story, because I just loved how the story from the first game carried on into Black 2 and White 2 and just added a lot more layers to it. And I've always been that kind of person that really loves that sort of thing. So that was definitely very memorable when it came to my overall experience with this game. Like Black 2 and White 2, I just had so much fun, and I really had to make a video just giving my thoughts on a couple things that really stood out to me that really made me a big fan of this game. I'm going to leave the ball in your corner now. How do you guys feel about Pokemon Black 2 and White 2? Do you like it? Do you dislike it? Is there a certain thing that I didn't talk about within this video that you guys want to share with me that you liked about Black 2 and White 2? Be sure to let me know down below. And if you guys enjoy the content on this channel, be sure to like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Be sure to follow me on my social media when it comes to my X, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. All the links to those are located in the description below. Be sure to click on that bell for notifications so you guys are notified whenever I'm dropping a video on the channel. But other than that, I hope all of you guys are having a fantastic day, wherever the day may be. If it's the daytime, the nighttime, or the evening. And I'll see you guys in the next video. As always, peace out.